The promise of space exploration was always about discovery, new worlds, new life, new beginnings. But we never considered that the universe might obey rules far stranger and more cruel than we could imagine, and that the greatest discoveries could be the ones that unravel you completely. Elias Vance was the loneliest man in existence. He was the sole pilot of the Wanderer, a ship traveling faster than light on a 40-year mission to the exoplanet Kepler-1 86F. For 99% of the journey, he was in a cryocycle, his life on pause. His only connection to home, to humanity, was a series of messages he'd exchanged with his wife, Maya. The problem was the time lag. Even with quantum entanglement communication, the sheer distance meant there was a 10-year delay each way. A conversation was a series of echoes, each exchange taking 20 years to complete. He recorded his first message upon arriving in the Kepler system, his face filled with the awe of a man seeing an alien sun. Elias's voice, recorded, clear and full of life. Maya. I made it. You wouldn't believe the sky here. The star is a dim red, and the light. It's like the world is in a permanent sunset. The probe is deploying. I'll be back in the cryopod for its 20-year survey. I know you won't get this for a decade. I hope life is good. I love you more than all the stars between us. Talk to you soon. He sent the message and went to sleep. To him, the next moment was waking up 20 years later, the probe's data collected and stored. And Maya's reply was waiting. As he played it, he braced himself. The Maya he was hearing would be 10 years older than the one he'd left. Maya's voice, recorded, warm, a little older, smiling. Eli, my God, it's good to hear your voice. 10 years, it's a lifetime. Jenny is in college now. Can you believe it? We moved out of the city. I have a garden. Hearing you, it's like no time has passed at all. We are so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. The world is different, but my love for you isn't. Stay safe, my love. I'm waiting. Elias wept. It was bittersweet, a glimpse into a life he was missing. But she was okay. She was happy. That was all that mattered. Before going back into cryo sleep for the long journey home, he sent one more message. A short one. Elias's voice, recorded, confident, relieved. Heard you loud and clear, Maya. It's all I needed. The mission was a success. I'm coming home. Setting the course and going under. I'll see you in 20 years. We'll have a lot to catch up on. He initiated the return cryocycle. The ship turned, the engines engaged, and the universe outside his window dissolved into a blur. The next thing he knew, the ship's AI was gently waking him. 20 years had passed. He was home. Almost. Just a few months of deceleration left. And there was another message from Maya, her reply to his last one. He smiled, eager to hear her voice, now 20 years older. A woman in her late 60s, probably a grandmother. He hit play. The voice that came out of the speaker was not the one he was expecting. Maya's voice, recorded, young, terrified, whispering. Eli. Oh God, Eli, if you can hear me, do not reply. Do not send another message. Delete this. Delete everything. Did you see it when you sent your message? The ripple? The distortion? They know, Eli. They know it's possible. They've been here for weeks. They asked me about you, about the ship, about the signal. They're listening to everything. I don't have much time. Don't reply. Don't come home. It's not safe. I love you. I'm sore. The message cut out. Elias sat frozen in his command chair, the silence of the cockpit deafening. His blood ran cold. This was impossible. The voice. It was Maya's, but it was the voice of the young woman he'd left behind 40 years ago. It was strained, panicked, broken. And the content made no sense. What ripple? Who are they? His mind, trained for methodical analysis, raced. A prank? A corrupted file? He checked the message timestamp. It was authentic. Received 19 years ago, sent 10 years before that. The timeline was correct. But the voice was wrong. Everything was wrong. He spent 2 days tearing through the Wanderer's flight logs. He analyzed every scrap of data from the moment he sent his last message. And then he found it. Just as his message was being transmitted, for a fraction of a second, the ship had passed through a gravitational anomaly, a tiny, undocumented fold in space-time. To the ship, it was a minor shudder. But his message, his quantum signal, had ridden that wave. It hadn't traveled for 10 years through normal space to reach Earth. The anomaly had acted as a shortcut, a wormhole. His message didn't arrive on Earth in the year 2085. It had arrived in 2055, just 3 weeks after he had originally left. The young Maya, still grieving his departure, had received a message from her husband, 20 years in the future. A message that proved the impossible. That time was not a straight line. That causality could be broken. It was the most profound and dangerous discovery in human history. And she was the only one who knew. The they she mentioned in her panicked reply, it was the agency, his own people. They would have detected the anomalous signal. They would have realized its implications immediately. An FTL message that could also travel through time was not a tool for exploration. It was a weapon that could rewrite history. They would have descended on her, quarantined her, silenced her. Her entire life, the one she described with the garden and her daughter in college, was a future that never got to happen. Because he had sent that last, short message. Her final message to him wasn't a reply. A desperate, terrified echo sent out before she was taken, hurled across 20 years of space and time to a man who was already a ghost to her. Elias Vance, the decorated explorer, cut the ship's engines. He was no longer a hero coming home. He was a loose end, an anomaly. The man who had, with a few loving words, erased his own wife from existence. He couldn't reply. He couldn't go home. He could only float in the silent void between worlds, billions of miles from a planet he no longer recognized. He was trapped in the cockpit with the ghost of a voice, haunted by the crushing knowledge that the loneliest man in the universe was the one who had destroyed his own home with a single 10-year echo.